The story just keeps on deepening. Deepening? Or depth? I don't fucking know. The dev team has been extremely active on the Reddit for the past week or so and have given us a lot of information on how the next update's gonna play out. Not too sure if you were even focusing on what Exodore said in that post or you were just listening to me being a fucking idiot, but basically we're going to see some changes to Thunder, and by changes I'm assuming nerfs. So I appropriately put some Thunder gameplay, albeit moderately mediocre Thunder gameplay in the background. So what does this mean exactly for ranked? It depends on where they go with it. If they completely smash him into the fucking ground like they did to Phantom, I can't believe I'm saying this, but if you actually killed Thunder off as a character, basically, ranked would be miles better than it would have if he was released in his current state onto ranked. Someone actually made a funny comment yesterday on my video and said, oh, the meta will probably be 3 Thunders, an Aura, and an Engineer, and you know what, that probably would have been the best team setup, I'm not gonna lie. I can imagine it now, just fucking games upon games of Auras circle jerking their Thunders in the middle of bridge. But if we do get some changes, and we don't know what they will be until the patch notes release, that could totally change how we're gonna play this season out. The strongest weapons are still the burst rifles, and this is a guide on how to climb, so I would get well acquainted with the burst rifles if you want to win games. So all of this is really just going to be speculation because I don't know how they're going to nerf Thunder and how much. I'll probably have more specific guides out on how to play this season once it actually drops and we can get acquainted with balance and where everything's at. So with this, I can see them nerfing Thunder by getting not rid of his grenade, obviously, but adding a lot longer cooldown to it and probably minimizing the effects it has when on an enemy, you know, just don't want a white screen for 16,000 years. I still think that no matter what they do to the character, he's still going to be viable because 1, he has 170 health and I don't see them nerfing it by that much more, and 2, he still has the Stark. Now, I don't know if you know anything about the Stark, but it is actually extremely powerful, and in the hands of someone that has 170 health, I can see them being an unstoppable tank when paired with a Sawbones or an Aura. Not to mention the fact that his LMG is literally just a fucking laser gun, like it shoots straight from miles. But believe it or not, you can't carry an entire team on Thunder. Well, you know, I might take that back. At higher ranks, especially around the Cobalt range and maybe even High Gold, I don't know how players have progressed since preseason, because that's basically the last time I play ranked. Teams, even if they're getting spawn camped, they're going to find a way to do the objective. And Thunder, unlike Skyhammer, already has no way of stopping an EV, other than, you know, killing the people working on the EV. So I still think that the best carry role is going to be on either Artie or Skyhammer. But we're talking like the higher levels of play where, you know, people are actually playing the game the way it's supposed to be played. Hubs are not a good representation of how this game is supposed to play out, and if you want a good representation of how the game's supposed to be played out, I look at some maybe VODs of players playing in DBN pugs or scrims or even tournaments, because that's how this game is supposed to be played. And unless you're playing at like Silver 1 or something, you're going to need a lot of teamwork to actually get shit done. You can't carry everyone on your back at once. This is all assuming, of course, that the ranking system actually works this time and you won't get paired up against gold like 5s as a Cobalt 1 or Elite Operative. Assuming that the system actually works, it works the same as every other ranking system in every game ever. There's certain ranks where you're going to need to learn things about the game that without those kinds of skills you're not going to get further than, you know, where you're at. It exists in Overwatch, it exists in CSGO, things like that, you know? Raw skill and raw aim is only going to get you so far. You're going to need to know how to actually play the game. And there's a couple ways you can learn how to play the game. One, I'm going to probably be releasing guides on how to play individual characters and probably some basic skill sets like positioning, timings on grenades and jumps and, you know, all that. Aiming too, that's a pretty important one. So the fact that Thunder is getting nerfed is beyond like a good thing for the game, and I look forward to whenever the new patch drops. My guess is it's going to drop on either Monday, so tomorrow, depending on when I actually upload this, or on Wednesday, because that's usually the patch day, if I remember correctly. I don't know, it seems like we only get a patch once every 8 years. So yeah, keep a lookout for those guides, and I will talk to you guys later. Enjoyed the Nerfed Thunder, and yeah. Oh yeah, set your clan tag to Sun. You might want to do that, especially if I kick your ass in ranked. If I can kick your ass in ranked.